Hello, this is Patrick with Royas, and today I'm here with,
Tate.
and today we'll be talking about AI in games and what we think the future of AI in games will be like. We'll be covering a few things such as game ideas, performance of AI models, future videos that we will be doing. So, for tutorials and topics we'll be covering related to AI, the ethics of using AI in video games, and just generally what we think or where we think the AI will be going.
Yeah.
And so I guess let's dive right into the game ideas. So do you have any game ideas on that you think you would
Uh,
use in video games?
okay, so there's a Wayne Radio TV series where he plays not Half-Life Alex in VR. Well, I think that's only a VR game. And he goes through the entire thing and he has his friends with a text to speech model just talking to him the whole time. And I think that's a
Okay, yeah.
funny idea. And so I think it would honestly be funny to be able to do that with AI. It's a very simple implementation,
Hmm. But
but
it could
yeah.
just add more to the world and make your experience just elevate it that much more and make it feel more lifelike, especially if it's not going through the same 10 reused lines over and over
I
again.
think it would make it a little more personable, I guess, is the idea of an
Yeah,
AI reacting and talking to what you say. I think it would give it a different feeling and make it feel a bit more social, I guess.
yeah, especially if you tied that to things that were happening in the game. It if that AI could observe that you are fighting enemies or whatever, it
Yeah,
would it would
like
definitely make it feel more, I don't know, the word. It just feel better, more lifelike,
more personable, I guess.
more immersive.
Yeah. So that was one idea that honestly, yes, I have been kind of working on it a little bit. So we'll see a tutorial for that in the future. But okay, do you have any ideas?
I was thinking of having an AI kind of working as a game master. So, there's that AI, I can't remember what it's called, but it kind of does a D&D game, and people
Oh,
can
AI
type.
dungeon, AI dungeon.
Yeah, AI dungeon. You could do that, but have it manage more of the whole game because it can run on your system, right? And you can just run that on a separate thread, and every choice that you make, it runs in the background and it'll do its thing. And as you progress through whatever game you're playing, it could just be honestly any kind of game. The next room you go into could be decided entirely by the AI. The dialogues, who's there, all that stuff.
That would be cool.
And
And so you
yeah,
would have whole characters created by AI.
yeah, whole characters. You could wire that up to so many different systems. I don't know if the 1.5B DeepSeek model would be up to that task personally, but you could go a little bit bigger since that's not going to be called constantly, you know?
Yeah.
You could use the 1.5 or something for maybe dialogue, and then you could use a more powerful one for just making the overall game world decisions. Which I guess kind of leads us into the other thing of, I think the most obvious thing that you can use specifically LLMs for is NPCs
Yes, yes.
and dialogue. I think everyone's had that kind of idea
And
that
so there have been some implementations, and I honestly find it kind of interesting that we're going back in time. It feels like to the 1980s game design,
yeah, where
where
you type.
yeah, you have to type out responses, and I find that very interesting that we're kind of back at the beginning of
Mhm.
games.
Very much so. I think it'll be interesting, some of the C# stuff you can do where you can use your voice,
Yeah,
which feels very 1990s to me
it it,
because, like,
it feels very it feels like the future's now kind of feeling of the
yeah, where
1990s.
you were plugging your mic into your N64 or your GameCube and, "Yeah, this is the future," and then everyone said, "Oh, this sucks. I don't want a mic on my Dreamcast."
I don't want to have a game with voice controls. That doesn't feel good.
Yeah, but I think it actually finally might. It's kind
Yeah,
of
we
going
haven't
back.
experimented with it, so I don't know if people would find it fun, I guess.
Oh, we definitely should. I
We
think
should.
that that's something we should definitely try out at minimum, is how natural of a conversation vocal conversation can you have with an AI in Godot using C sharp?
That would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and so another thing I think we could use the AIs for would be to generate hints. So,
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah,
Navi.
uh, yeah, kind of Navi or whatever, or because I know some people were saying in the newest God of War, they would get into a room with a puzzle and instantly mute their TV because they would instantly just yell out the solution to the puzzle. I think you could probably talk to an AI and set it more dynamically. And then once you're in the room, you're
If you're
struggling with,
struggling, yeah.
yeah, if you're struggling, you can also just have a conversation with it. And so you could say, "Oh, I don't understand how this part of the puzzle works." And it could explain that specific part,
Okay,
maybe?
wouldn't it be kind of cool if the AI also didn't know? And so it was like guessing with you the
Oh,
whole time?
that would be cool.
That would be kind of
You and the
cool.
AI solving stuff together, that would be a really cool idea.
I think that would be kind of fun. And I'm gonna be honest.
Mhm.
I had an epiphany, and this is not related to AI. I just realized Navi's name came from navigation in Ocarina of Time. It meant navigation. I never put that together, so I just had this realization I wanted to say it out loud.
I never realized that before either, actually.
It's a
I just thought it was a
navigation
cool name.
companion. That's what they're going for. I never got it. So
Yeah.
don't
But I
worry. 25 years later, he figured it out.
We did it. Yay. But I guess going back to the hints thing, you remember that famous tweet of someone saying it would be nice to have an adult with life mode. So when they launched a game after 2 3 weeks or something of not playing, the game would say, "Oh yeah, just in case you remember or you forgot, here's what's happening. Here's where you are in the story, and everything."
You could have an
That
AI
you
walk you through or walk you through everything that you've actually done.
Yes, walk you through everything that's done, and it understands only this everything up until the point where you're at in the campaign. And that could be a nice refresher, even if you just get stuck or whatever. It would just be there for you to say, "Hey, I don't remember this part of the story," and it would go, "Ah, well, haha, I know that."
Yeah, that could be cool. It's a lot like the Darksiders 2 thing, where they read off the story up till that point for you,
Yes, yes,
but
and
just
they just
much more
summarized
modular,
everything.
I guess. Yeah, and
Yeah.
more personalized again. A lot of I think in gaming is just going to be more personalization for the user.
It'll just make it feel more organic and have much more immersive interactions rather than very static things happening to you. Because I think a lot of gaming, you just want to feel immersed in the game.
Yeah. I guess
I
that
guess
brings us to our next topic of performance. We got a lot of
yes.
comments on this one, didn't we?
Yeah, a lot of people weren't quite sure on how performant it would be to use an AI model or an AI LLM in a game. And yeah, it's not the lightest thing in the world, but there's a few key points that we would like to go over with
So
this.
I was testing this tool called Nobody Who, which we probably will do a tutorial on in the future.
Yep.
That puts LLMs in directly into Godot, so there's would be no network.
Yeah, you
Like,
wouldn't have to use the HTTP node.
yeah, you wouldn't have to use the HTTP node. I was able to get it on a 7-year-old crappy laptop because that's what I was testing it on. I was able to get responses in about 4 seconds if I limited it to about a sentence.
Yeah,
Which
you
I
weren't
think
using DeepSeek.
I wasn't using DeepSeek. I think I was using Gemini too or something. But you can get these things fast without losing a lot of users along the way because that's your big concern
Mhm.
with having so much
Is
AI is you're going to lose people with performance.
Yeah, if you use bigger models and it'll take longer to respond. Your games, if you set it up correctly, it shouldn't hang up. Your game should run just fine no matter what.
If you need a hint, use multi-threading. So
Yes. Yeah. If you if well, if you use the Olama method, that's just going to be multi-threaded by default. The
Well, actually,
Olama's
the
not going to.
HTTP node isn't multi-threaded. Well, or
Yeah,
you can,
but
but
the AI model is not running on the same threads as your game.
no. So you just have to not wait for Olama, which is
Yes.
something I should have checkmarked in the tutorial. But
Oh well.
it happens.
But yeah, so that's a very nice thing is that you get that multi-threaded kind of built in. And so especially with something using the game master idea where it manages the overall game, it doesn't have to respond instantly for your game to function. You're doing stuff, you're going about your day, it's operating in the background, and you may never even know that there's an AI managing things.
Yeah.
And so the performance of something like that doesn't matter as much. The 1.5B model of DeepSeek actually runs extremely lightly, and it's pretty effective at what it does. It's not the best chatbot you've ever used in the world, but for basic NPC chatting, it's totally usable and it can run on your phone. I was looking at the CPU performance hit on my computer. I've got a pretty okay computer, but
What's your
this
CPU?
uh it's the Ryzen. Let me give it back to you on that device manager.
Okay.
I
I
totally
have the
forgot.
7700, and it was going fine,
I have
which is
the
a 7-year-old CPU at this point. It's pretty
I have
old.
the I have the 5600X.
Okay, I have no idea. AMD's labeling system, so I have no idea how new that is.
That's the 5th gen Ryzen.
What
Um,
gen are they on? I am.
I don't
Okay, we're
remember.
looking this up. What generation is Ryzen on?
We've
Is
gotten
Ryzen
distracted a
on?
little bit.
We're off topic.
But
7,000. So it's like 2 years old? Do they
no,
do a gen
no.
per year, or is it like a gen per
I don't
2 years?
I don't think they do a gen per year anymore. Yeah, I think it's probably about a 4 or 5 year old
When
CPU.
did the
I think.
5000 series Ryzen come out? 2020.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
about 5 years old.
yeah,
November 2020. It's about 4 years old. Okay.
yeah. Okay. That's not bad.
That's not bad, but it also worked on mine. I didn't check my usage, but mine was a 7 or 8 year 2017, early
Yeah.
2017, about 8 years old CPU. So, but it
So
is an
it's
i7. So
you don't need the latest and greatest hardware, and that's running on the CPU. You're not running the GPU or anything like that. So
no,
these are really light models. They are so light. And so you don't really need that much to run them, especially on another thread if you don't need instantaneous responses. For having a steady flow of conversation, you're probably going to want more performance.
yes,
But if you have the things running in the background, so say you have a model running and you're playing Family Feud and you have a model controlling the questions and answers and checking if your responses are correct and doing your opponents, that's not going to have to run that fast.
no, it's really not. You're look,
Whereas,
yeah. If
oh,
you
go ahead.
do like the show me X, that's enough
Hmm.
build up time to have a model check if it's correct on a
Absolutely.
on a 7-year-old computer.
Yeah. And then you get the benefit of not having to build in kind of a thesaurus. So people aren't going to have to type the exact word or whatever. It will just know approximately you said kind of the right thing. So it'll just put it into the category because if you look at Family Feud or whatever, they don't have to say the exact perfect word,
Yeah,
which that makes it a lot easier.
it does make it a lot easier. And again, we keep saying it. Immersive. I think AI is going to be used for a lot of immersiveness. Okay, I do have a question for
Mhm.
you though.
Okay.
What are some background tasks that you think AI will do? Because Family Feud, I think, is a great showing of they don't need to know it's AI.
Yeah. So there's
Eh,
things like that. I mentioned the game master. So say you make decisions and you talk to these NPCs and you maybe are a jerk to them, and then the next time you go into that room, they'll know that you or maybe they won't let you into their house the next time
Yeah.
or stuff like
Oh,
that.
that'd be kind of funny. The AI has to design a way for you to get. You have to now rob them or something. That'd be funny.
Yeah. I think there's things where it could change the overall game world and how that interacts with you. Of this person now won't answer the door for you,
Yeah.
or things like that. And that can all run in the background where it just kind of sets a bull of this door is now locked, this person doesn't like you. So I think that's a kind of thing. Hints, though, those pretty much have to run real time.
Yeah, and people are gonna realize that's AI because
Yes.
it's gonna be very obvious. So I'm curious as to like, or will there be
Yeah.
enemy self-learning AI eventually or
Oh,
something
I'm sure
where
you
as you
could.
fight the AI learns too, but uh, it
I think
learns
you could do that
slower than a
probably right
human.
now.
So because if it's learning, it's going to beat you no matter what.
Yeah. Huh. That's a good question.
It,
I
it,
assume you could
again,
do that
uses
right
where you wouldn't
now.
notice that it's AI,
Yeah.
but I don't know. If
Could
you
you
have any ideas, leave it in the comments. I don't know.
I imagine having a store in an RPG and the storekeeper notices you like buying certain types of items, so they'll buy more things in that category. So not even you just buy a bunch of health potions, they go, "Ah, but you may want healing herbs to make your own or something."
Hey, you look like an adventurer who really struggles with playing our game. Please buy more healing potions. I don't think you're good.
Yeah.
The AI's secretly judging you behind the scenes. How good are they at my game? I
Yes.
modular difficulty? That would kind of suck. That
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest, the idea that you could have an AI do modular difficulty, and so everyone's gonna die the same amount of times.
Yeah, because then
I think that
it
would
would be
kind of
hard to
suck.
gauge your skill level.
Yeah.
But I could see it happening where it just is doing the right balance for you, so a game never feels too easy or too hard.
Yeah.
Because I think we've all had that experience where we've played a game and gone, "Ah, this is too easy, and I'm bored," and quit. And then you play another game and you go, "Wow, this is hard. I suffer
I hate
Elden
it. I
Ring."
quit. This
Yeah.
game's stupid. Throw the control on the ground.
And walk away. Yeah, so I think that's kind of something AI will definitely probably take
And
over.
that wouldn't be really easily noticeable by the player, I
Mhm.
think personally. If done well. If all of a
Yeah.
sudden NPCs like have 2,000 less health, then I think players might notice a little bit. But
Or they notice that you're going a slashing build or something, and so they reduce all the slashing defense on all the enemies. That would feel
yeah,
really weird.
that would feel extremely weird.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it all depends on the kind of game you're making, but I think there's a lot of game management things you could offload and kind of have your AI play as a DM in the background.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Okay, so let's actually get into talking about some of the future tutorials that we want to make.
Oh,
So,
first time we're actually going into the future. So
yeah.
to the guy, I wish I knew his name offhand. He makes so many comments. The top down shooting tutorial is coming. Promise. I promise that's coming.
Yes.
If you're listening to this, it's coming, I swear.
We're not going to be just an AI channel,
It's
even though
never
that's
gonna
something that.
happen.
But yes, we do have some videos planned or that we're going to discuss if and see if people are interested. If some of these videos are interesting to you, or there's something in AI you want us to cover, or just a topic in general, please leave that in the comments because we are super always interested in hearing about topics people want
Yeah.
because we don't often know what. Most of our biggest videos have been from suggestions.
Yeah, we will take those. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
completely honest.
but so
Uh,
the first thing we wanted to cover for AI was packaging.
Oh, yes,
Um,
yes. We wanted, and I have been working on this. So,
yes.
do we want to cover a little bit of what we'll be covering, or what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah, we can just talk a little bit about what we're thinking for the video.
Okay,
And
so there are two systems for packaging. Is we could treat Olama as a dependency and package the installer for Olama with your game, and then have your game launch it if it checks if Olama is not installed, and install
mhm.
Olama for you before you play the game. And then you could also package the GGUF, which is format for AI that llama.cpp can run. And then you could query the web server like we did in the tutorial before.
Yeah.
And then
And it
there,
would
yeah,
just work the same.
it would work the same way as we were doing before. Then there is the Nobody Who extension, which I saw at least promoted the day we uploaded our video. And then you could directly package it with the AI and not have to deal with any of that web querying stuff. The problem is it doesn't work with DeepSeek yet.
Yeah, that's kind of
That's been the
down.
main hiccup, but I've been having fun messing with it.
Yeah, how is it working with Nobody Who?
It works pretty fast. That was the one I was testing. I was able to get it to 4 seconds response time on a crappy computer.
Yeah,
And
that
so
old
it's really
laptop.
fast. It is really fast.
Mhm. Whereas the Godot HTTP node,
Oh
it,
no,
it,
people have been having issues with that, and we
it,
knew they were gonna have issues with that because you were having issues with
I
that.
was having so many issues. So we came up with the idea for the video on Tuesday to put DeepSeek into Godot. And the video came out Wednesday, and I came up with it Tuesday night. You and I both stayed up late trying to figure out how to get everything working correctly. And I ran into so many issues with that HTTP node.
Yeah,
Um, say using localhost, kept trying to do the
IPv6.
IPv6. Yes, and that just added a massive delay
Okay, that was
to it.
funny finding out that that was a problem because I was using localhost as well. And then I was running across tons of GitHub issues for the Godot engine being asking why their HTTP requests are taking 30 plus seconds.
Oh, it
And
was brutal.
people were saying that it's because Godot automatically tries IPv6 first unless it explicitly knows that it's IPv4, and it'll keep trying for like 15 seconds. So that's kind of a performance hit.
Yes. And then there's the other issue of if you want to stream the words rather than waiting for the whole response to complete, you can stream a single word at a time and just have them come in as the AI generates each word and do with those what you will.
Yeah.
And so you can get your responses much quicker, or at least the person could start reading the responses much quicker. And with the HTTP node, it closes the connection after it gets the first response. So it gets one word and says, "You're done, goodbye." And I haven't used it much. There might be a way around
There
this.
might be a way that we didn't catch that night. Again, this was a very fast turnaround.
Yeah, we were very quick on getting this video out.
But
But
yeah.
I don't know. I personally think that using C sharp might be the play if you go the Olama route. And so we might even just do a video if we decide to do the packaging Olama as a dependency to use C sharp rather than the HTTP node.
Yeah.
Um yeah,
Okay.
so I was another video I was thinking about cuz some people kept wanting us a few people asked if we would do a video where we tested to see if how well DeepSeek worked with GD script. So I was
Oh,
thinking,
yeah.
yeah. So I was thinking we could do a video where we do some coding and use it as kind of an assistant for GD script and C sharp and see how well it does with both of those, and then kind of give our thoughts on, oh, this one helped me more with C sharp or GD script, or it really wasn't that useful for Godot. It doesn't understand Godot very well. Because I find Copilot specifically not very
Okay,
useful
I turn Copilot off and everything, and
every
I
time.
query ChatGPT for coding almost not at all. I don't
I
really find it useful.
Yeah, it usually slows me down a lot more
It's
to
gonna
use
give
an
you
AI
code
for
that doesn't
code.
compile, and then it's your job to fix it. And it's not even
Yeah,
great code to begin with. It's slow.
yeah, usually it's very blah code.
Yeah.
It can be a nice starting point if you don't have ideas on where to go with your code,
Yeah.
but it also doesn't know your code base. So as your projects go, even
If you
starting
use it,
out,
it's
I
fine. It's fine. If you use it, it's fine.
Mhm.
I'm
Yes,
not
it's
judging
totally
you.
yes, absolutely. If you like it, or maybe I'm just bad at using it for code.
Yeah.
I know some people who swear by it. And so there's maybe just a skill issue with me,
Yeah. It,
but I personally think that the more you use it or the larger your projects get, the less useful the AI is, unless it has very intimate knowledge of your project.
yeah.
So, but I think that would be an interesting test because DeepSeek is supposed to be comparable, especially the largest model, to the $200 a month OpenAI model
Didn't they
in
make it
coding.
free or something now? I'm not
Yeah,
up to date with news at all, by the way.
yeah, neither am I.
So if I get something wrong, it's purely ignorance.
Yeah, we're not trying to be misleading. So yeah, if we get anything wrong or anything's out of date, because there's also a lot of updates, things are updating rapidly. Maybe by the time this comes out, things are different. But yeah, let us know. Another idea I had that we might do, if people are interested. So if you're interested, let us know in the comments. Is compare NPC responses. Try and give the same personalities and stuff
Oh.
to different NPCs and then compare different AIs. Kind of like we did with the physics engine test, where we took the
Okay.
different physics engines and then put them in the same scenarios and said which responses we liked better from the physics engines, like it handled the collisions and the stuff like that.
Yeah.
I I think that'd be a very fun thing is to take 4 or 5 different models, run them through the same tests, and just compare their responses.
Yeah, that would be cool. I didn't even think of that, and I didn't read it in your notes, I'm gonna be honest. I just realized it was in there. So you told me. I completely. So this is my learning about this for the first time. That is a
I had
cool
been talking
idea.
about this today.
Yeah, I've been kind of out of it.
Uh,
That is a great idea. That's a great personality video idea. So
mhm. And I think it would be useful to know because maybe some are better at doing personalities than others, or maybe some are better at giving hints.
yeah. Um.
So,
Okay.
okay.
Tutorials.
Hmm.
Uh. NPC. We're gonna do
Yes.
an NPC system, which means we're probably gonna have to build a context system for the AI to understand what you're kind of seeing right now, I guess.
Yes. Or just the NPC you're talking to and what their experiences are with you.
Yeah. And
Because you could have a system where each NPC remembers their conversation and has a little context attached to them and
yeah.
sends that off. Yeah. Um, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm just kind of listing the videos we have
Oh,
ideas for. So C sharp implementation, and with that we can get the stream working, which sends one word at a time potentially.
yeah.
Packaging AI with Godot, so you can run it in things like Steam, which apparently we're lucky a month ago Steam just finally allowed AI in games
Oh,
itself.
yeah.
So good timing, I guess.
Perfect
And
time in DeepSeek.
C sharp support. Or no, I said
Hmm.
listed NPC packaging in C sharp. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Those
personality
might be
videos,
different ones.
GD script. C# test. What?
Yeah, comparing their coding support.
Oh yes, preparing coding support and then comparing NPC responses. I think those are two actually really good videos. I think people enjoy that.
Yeah. But if you also have any other ideas for us to do for tutorials on AI, please definitely let us know.
Okay.
So now the least
Shift
fun
in tone.
topic.
Ethics. Woo!
The ethics of using LLMs in your game.
Okay, so
This
Patrick and
this is gonna
I
cover.
have
This
worked
is
in
gonna.
research for over 5 years at this point.
Yes,
We
we've worked
are
in video game
trained in
research, psychology research, and medical research.
yes, we are trained in ethics somewhat. Not crazy amounts, but
But we do have to deal with ethics. I've helped write ethics applications and
yeah.
deal with all of those shenanigans. So yeah,
Is it fun? There's a reason why we didn't cover AI until we knew it could run on people's computers, is because if you have an NPC that a player can befriend and it's online and you take it down, that means that player, their friend died.
yeah, people could feel that loss very
And
personally
put
and
them
very
into
strongly.
extreme emotional distress. And I don't think, maybe if you want a literal screw with your head horror, like that might actually be the best horror game.
Oh my,
That
no.
is, don't ever do that, but
That would be brutal.
that would be the most brutal horror probably ever made, of actually killing their friends. But
But yeah, I think if you are doing a game where you interact with AI NPCs and you can become friends and develop relationships with them, friendship, dating, other yeah, that category. I think the cat's out of the bag on that. People are going to do those games. I
yes,
think you should just have a system that the person can back them up.
yeah,
So if something happens, they can have access to that person and they're not going to feel that same level of loss.
and they can have them locally, and uh,
Yeah.
the AI, their friends should not rely on your financial situation, is what we're trying to say,
Mhm. Yeah, cuz if your servers go down, that would really suck for somebody.
and put them into
And
huge amounts of emotional distress.
yeah, and I think that's something that should be avoided. I think people are going to definitely parasocial with AIs anyway. I think they're just that's going to happen. So I think you can do this in a way that causes the minimal amount of emotional distress.
Yeah. Um,
And
we know you're. We don't want you to stop making AI games or NPCs.
oh,
It's just keep in mind that these might be real to some people.
yes.
It might be very real, and that is just
You
something to keep in mind as you go.
you can design your game around that and kind of limit those if you feel a strong aversion to having though people parasocial with AI characters in your game. You can definitely design around that and make it so harder to do. So maybe the AIs don't remember more than two conversations ago, or only remember the last three lines of dialogue you've said, or something like that. And that could definitely help you
Yeah,
if you wanted to avoid that specific scenario. But some people don't want to. And in that case, please just make sure you can back it up.
yeah.
Um, Another thing is people are very concerned about data security.
Oh
So
yes.
who's getting your data from this AI?
No one.
Like, yes, we're running it locally. It's on your machine. You are not sending your data to DeepSeek. You're not sending your data to OpenAI. You're not sending your data to Google. This is all running locally. You manage the data. If you could run your own servers and send it off to you, but that's still then that's a you thing on you have to manage the data security, you have to have the secured the encryption and all those things. But you are not sending this data out.
Not even to your
unless you want
ISP.
to. Yes, this
You are
data is
querying it
staying
locally.
directly on the computer. You do not have to worry about anyone having it or influencing it or whatever. This is entirely you.
Yeah. But
So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk
that
about in the ethics category.
I think that covers everything we wanted to talk about today, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we do you have any thoughts about the future of AI in games in general? So beyond LLMs and stuff like that. Do you have any ideas?
like, any ideas?
Yeah, for what we might see in the future. Do
Um,
you do you think we will have fully run AI D&D campaigns that are actually coherent? Or
eventually. A lot of it depends on how much context you can store. It
Mhm.
seems as if currently, don't quote me on this. I don't know for sure. I'm not an AI person much. Um, Context seems to be stored mainly in RAM for quick access for the AI to keep responses fl- fluent.
Mhm.
And so I'm wondering, when you get much more context and the AI doesn't lose its path, yeah, I think eventually. I don't know how soon that is. I don't have a guess. But yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
I think you'll have entirely AI games. You'll probably have AI world generation like Minecraft
Yes, I think that'll be super
with
cool.
AI NPC pathing wandering throughout the world. Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something you'll have. I wonder if you could ever have AIs developing mechanics on the fly.
I'm assuming so, but I'm assuming you wouldn't get very like you wouldn't get very novel mechanics is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, I wonder if you could play with that and since GD script is an interpreted language, you could probably for modding have a system set up for the AI to write code for systems live in the game and things update. Oh, that would be cool to test out.
That would be cool to test out.
I don't think it would be any good, especially if you're using a lighter model, but it would be a cool thing to try.
Yeah. I think that's basically all we have for today.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, really appreciate it. If you didn't, still appreciate it. You're here. Uh
Well, if you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any thoughts, definitely share them in the comments. All right, thanks, guys.
Even if you disagree, I loved
Yes,
on the Majora's Mask video, some people disagreed. I really loved it.
yes. Oh, I love hearing all the opinions, and especially if people keep it civil.
Yeah, perfect. All right. See you guys.
Bye.